Hi, this is Janet Wakeland with RemarkablyCreated.com and the Remarkable Stampers. Today's version of My Digital Studio Mondays is going to take you step by step through creating an insert for the DVD cases, or better known as clear stamp storage cases, which are available in the current Stampin' Up! Catalog. These cases are designed to store clear mount stamps, but of course anytime you give the Stampin' Up! Demonstrator a really fun object like a DVD case, a bowl, a vase, whatever, we're going to find alternative uses for it. My personal preference has been to use them as organizational tools. I'm very passionate about having everything in its place for easy access because my time is important. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I've opened my digital studio and I have selected 8.5 by 11 landscape. I do know that my finished product is going to be 10.5 by 7.25, so I needed an image or a work surface that was bigger than that. Stampin' Up! Only has standard card sizes, some smaller tags, 8.5 by 11 pages, and 12 by 12. So that means that when you're going to work with odd sizes such as 3.5 by 4.5, 10 by 10, 9 by 7, you're going to need to work with a work surface that's slightly larger than your finished product, and you're just going to then have to cut the edges off. So let's go ahead and get started on our work surface. My preferred method for working with designer series paper is to work with a photo box. I find that it gives me the most control, the most options, and maintains the dimensions or the print of my paper the best. I've gone ahead and I've put a photo box up into the far left corner. I have my ruler on, and you can turn your ruler on by clicking on the icon on your toolbar here, or going up here under View and clicking on Rulers here and turning it on. I did that because, again, I want to be able to measure, and if you watch, as I move my cursor across here, you see a red line. As I grab hold of my box and move it, that red line is going to indicate where I'm at on my ruler. So I'm going to stop at 10.5, and then I'm going to grab my box and I'm going to come down here to approximately 7.25. So now I have my box. I'm going to pick the paper that I want to work with, and I'm working with Everyday Enchantment. This will be a celebration offering in 2012. As a demonstrator, we were given 7 weeks lead time in purchasing celebration projects. We got to receive our product for free with our December pre-order, so it's really exciting to have that celebration product in our hand this year really early, so that we can create amazing products and provide you with the best customer service during celebration. So I've gone ahead and it's filled my box, so I have this here. The next thing that I want to do is I want to create a label on the spine. And the way I knew where the spine is the middle of the book. Half of 10.5 is 5.25. So I'm going to go ahead and use my ruler again to guide me to placing my label, and I want it basically to be on from 5 to 5.5. That's going to cover the 1/4-inch spine. And I'm just going to make it, just eyeball it here. I'm not too particular about the exact length. I'm going to color fill it, and I'm going to pick Poppy Red. One of the things that I love about the Everyday Enchantment, in addition to the fact that it has more than the usual 6 sheets that are double-sided with designs, it also has great colors. And Poppy Red is just such a happy red, and it's a fun color to work with. The next thing that I want to do is I want to add my cover art, and I've picked Apothecary Art. This is a new image that will be available on January 4th as a My Digital Studio download, or it will also be available as a traditional stamp set for purchase beginning January 4th in our mini catalog. The reason why I specifically, chose this artwork is because, sorry about this, guys, I don't know why my mouse is all over the page and why it's doing what it's doing. The reason why I specifically chose this artwork is because it matches the framelit labels that are being stored in this case. So let's just go ahead and click on this for just a second. My computer's froze up. And I want to enlarge it, and I want to change the color that it is going to be. So let's see if it's going to allow me to do that here for just a second. Maybe if I go back. Is it going to allow me to go back here for a minute? There we go. Let's drag that over. I'm not sure what happened there. Sometimes our own greatest roadblock to creating a nice project is impatience. As you can see that happened. I'm not going to worry about resizing it to the exact one because, again, embellishing the front of it is all about picking the images and the designs. The real knowledge that you needed in order to create the DVD insert was how to create a box the size that the actual insert was when we don't carry paper that size. And then you need to know to save your image as a JPEG and print it out as a full 8.5 by 11, and then simply cutting off the white. That's the important part. So I went ahead and I added my image. I'm going to just change it to Poppy Red. And then I want to go ahead and I want to get rid of the 4U here in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my punches, and I'll drag my circle punch over. And I'm just going to adjust. There we go. And let's just fill it with a color. And again, I'm not going to be super detail oriented because I do have a finished one to show you. And there's lots of other options available for you. And not just framelits, but edgelets, embossing folders, linen threads, pearls, all kinds of fun stuff that you can be doing here. Let's just do pool party. Now the other thing that I did that was unique to this specific case was I added a text box. And then I went ahead and typed in tips for using our framelits. Because our framelits are different, they are a unique new product to us as Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, and they will be to you as our Stampin' Up! Customers. And I went ahead and I put that on the back cover. But in addition to putting my tips in this text box, I went ahead and I added an actual picture of the sandwich that is used to make or to use to cut the framelits in our Big Shot. Because again, it's different than what we've known with the other product that we currently carry. So what I went ahead and did is I went ahead and I added a punch box, or punch square rather, and I just sized it to the same size as my text box. And then what I did was I filled it with paper. Filling it with color will not allow you to do what I'm doing. You cannot edit color. Red is red, orange is orange. I want to be able to edit my image. So let's just pick any old paper, doesn't matter what, because I'm going to edit it. So I've filled it with paper, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to left click on it twice, and it's going to bring up a box called Punch Image Editor. Punch Image Editor. What that allows you to do is it allows you to move the paper around specifically where you want it to be. It allows you to adjust the size of the print. Sometimes you want a finer print, sometimes you want a bolder print, sometimes you want to capture a bird, a letter, something like that within the paper. What I want to do is something totally different. I want to replace this image. And remember, you have to fill the punch first with paper in order to be able to do this. I used the lasso tool to capture the actual image of the sandwich from my copy of the PDF of the new mini catalog coming, which is something that all demonstrators have access to on our Stampin' Up! Website. And I went ahead and I just filled that, and now I have that on here. And then my last step was to add embellishment. And then I went up here under Share Project and I exported it to JPEG. And here was what my finished project looked like. So again, the key is opening up a blank surface to work with, a blank canvas, starting either with a punch or a photo box, and creating the work surface. Again, I shrunk it down and I created a work surface that was the size of what I wanted my finished project to be. And again, then this border over here, this 1/2 inch border of white on the right, and this border, almost 1 1/4 inch border down here on the bottom, simply becomes waist. And then you save it, export it to JPEG, print it as an 8.5 by 11, trim the waist off, slip it in your DVD case, and you are good to go. Have fun creating, and remember, if you make something really cool, to share it back. Have a great day, and God bless.